Hey, Martin. So I hope you're doing well. Finally, we are together again with a fantastic topic. So today, our topic is obviously with web development and websites, but it's the title of our today's discussion is how success is your website and the basics of website security and common mistakes. So we have got Martin. So hello, Martin. Hope you are okay. Cool. So before we jump into, I have some questions for sure. But
Uh-huh.
before we jump into our real, discussion, uh, I would, and also audience and I would love to uh, hear a little bit about you, and and then we will jump into our topic.
Sure. My name is Martin Kouba. I'm here in Salzburg, Austria, and I'm in IT for 25 years or so. And I've I've delved into all sorts of fields. I'm a developer. I host sites, and so I'm also system administration and with hosting websites, I've seen quite a few things over the many years. And since our topic today is on security, I also have seen many attacks on web pages and compromised web pages. And I had clients that asked me to fix their content management or their web pages. And so I've seen a bit, and I often have also seen that people take it too well, don't care too much about the security aspect and are not aware about what's happening out there. And that's why this is a topic that is important for me as well. I like people to know more about that.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for your nice quick introduction and the thing that you mentioned. So we'd I'd love to start with a question. It goes like, how vulnerable are we with our sites on the internet? So I think people should know it, how vulnerable, we are with our websites. So are we safe with? I don't think so. But yeah, so how serious should we be? How vulnerable are we on the
Yeah,
internet
so
with our website?
um, uh, many questions I get are around like why should I care? Because I'm not that important. Why would somebody even attack my webpage? You know why?
Mm.
And and they think like they're not important enough, and what would anybody gain by attacking their webpage? And things have changed over the decades, and it has become a business model actually to attack web pages as one part of attacking IT systems. And why would you do that? So I don't want to encourage anybody going in that direction, but uh, so pages are attacked to spread malware, for example. So I would attack a web page and then hide malicious software, and the user that is coming to the web page also gets downloaded my malware. That's one
Yeah.
attack angle or one reason why what happens. Also, it is used to promote other web pages. So it's a not so nice way of search engine optimization. So I hide links to other pages, and it that can be very sophisticated actually. So you as somebody accessing the site, you might not even see that, you know. So it is a sophisticated selection of injected code that would serve links to other pages, and that would rank those sites better and those kind of things. Also, another attack I've seen is to use some some attack angle on a web page to get access to more parts of the web server, and to use the web server to send emails, for example. And that would be spam emails, or that would be emails again having malicious code, or also to use actually a web server to uh, to mine crypto coins. I've seen that as well. So mine crypto coins on a web server or even in a web browser actually. And that's very sophisticated. So it's not that easy to detect actually right away. And so that makes anybody, and if you're feeling not so important, but you're interesting enough to become a target.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
that's why we should care.
So the next question for you, Martin, is uh, I think you might have answered it already to some degree, but the question goes like, why should we care about it?
So why should we care about it? It is, uh, I mean, like,
I think the
you,
the,
you,
the, the
you
question
already,
question the
huh?
question has become a little bit I don't know, but uh people are like, so I kind of, it's the question is from people who have their websites.
Uh-huh.
They might be like, why should we care about this? So this is important question from that sense. That's why I asked. So we
Absolutely.
need to have a big
Yeah,
why before we do anything about it.
absolutely. Yeah. So why should you care about that? Um, well, one part is reputation, and one part is caring for each other. The caring for each other part is kind of connects to what I've said before. When we don't make sure that nobody abuses our web hosting, then we might promote malicious code or malicious web pages or sites that we don't want to promote. And also, when I say reputation, what do I mean? Picture that you're a company, and then somebody hijacks your web page and injects some pictures that you don't want to see on your web page, but it's serving like, well, often it's uh, you would say adult content, or that or malicious code, but you don't want to be connected with that kind of content. Also, regarding reputation, I said like one reason or one thing that is being done by attacks like that is sending out emails. So you might become a victim of a spam relay attack utilizing your web page, or utilizing some email addresses that are stored in connection with your web page. And that would could lead to you ending up on a blacklist. Your web server, your mail server might end up
Mhm.
on a blacklist. Your domain reputation might go down, and
Yeah, yeah,
it is something that is not well. It You can fix those kind of things, but it might take a while to do that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. So the other thing that you mentioned is if you are sending, you know, a lot of emails, you know, and those emails are not professional, you're sending from your server. I think you lose the reputation of your server. You know, the domain you are sending all those emails from. So
Yes.
that's another thing, and that totally made sense to me. And also the other thing that you mentioned at last, which is it's really painful once you are compromised with your website, getting all the things back, on track. So it's really pain. So it's really worth it to be safe first, knowing the things, you know, not being attacked. So that's the I think uh, very important, in terms of the thing, because once you are attacked, then it's a real pain thing. So yeah,
There is
before
one more
I
reason I haven't mentioned
Mhm.
yet, and that is also very
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
Now, when you picture that you have a web page and you have clients logging into your web page, because maybe you're running a web shop, maybe you're running a member page, and there are information stored from your clients, like address
Yeah, yeah.
information or phone information, or
Mhm.
it could even go further to have credit card information. That makes it even more sensitive. So you have to make sure, especially with credit card information, of course, you have to fulfill certain criteria. And but already, with name, email address, phone number, there is a market out there. You can get for any qualified. Again, this is not a recommendation for making money on that, but you can trade one qualified real persona data with address and everything. It's valued about $10, so it's
Mm.
that there is some business interest in that. And
Yeah, yeah.
and if your site is insecure, somebody can actually attack the site, get the data, and steal that data. And
Mhm.
depending on the country you're in, I'm here in Austria, so that's part of the European Union. We have very strict rules on that, GDPR rules and everything. And like, if something happens to a site like that, I and it could be the case that it got compromised. It could be the case that data like that got stolen. I actually have to inform every client about that issue, that incident.
Mm. Yeah.
And if I don't do it, I could get sued on that. Yeah, there are high fines on those kind of things. So
Mm. Mm.
it's really important to take that serious.
Yeah. And once it happens, it's a big thing again. It's a big thing. It's not simple to fix
Yes,
all the things.
it
Uh-huh.
happens all the time. I just had another client approaching me yesterday. So
Yeah. Um, okay, so I have here another question, which is last, but it might not be the last because we might, if we have time, we could go through some more. But Uh, I think it's important. How can we ensure our safety uh, on the internet as much as possible?
Yeah, so there are quite a few things you can do. It's not actually it doesn't take that much to make basic security. Now, so what you're doing a lot of things with WordPress, and WordPress is a very
Popular?
quite very popular. Thank you. Yeah, very popular CMS to
Mm,
to make web pages, and with the right approach, you can make very good web pages also with that. So it has quite an evolution from just being a blog system to actually
mm,
do all sorts of things as a content management or shop or whatever. But that's a different story. And it doesn't take too much actually to make WordPress secure. Why do I mention that WordPress is a popular site, and why would that be an issue? With everything that is popular, it's also interesting for malicious purposes to attack it.
mm,
Because if you
mm,
find one vulnerability, you have a lot of chances out there to actually find something where you can break in, and you don't care where
mm,
you want to break in. And there are actually pages out there that can help you check if you're on or how secure or insecure you are. I can show you something like that. And
mm,
what can I do to make sure I'm on the safe side? First of all, WordPress itself, they take that serious and they try to make whatever they can do to keep WordPress safe and secure,
mm,
but you have to update it because
That's a
it
good thing.
is
Yeah.
it is the same with every software, and it is annoying, of course, to always run all sorts of updates. But why do we need updates? You have the demand for new features, but when you implement something and you're using these days, you can't do everything yourself. So you're using also code from different developers, different packets. Think WordPress, you're also using plugins, of course. So it's again different developers. And all that, yeah, well, it comes together. So the more packages you use, of course, it's statistics. It it becomes insecure, even if everybody's trying to make really good job. And you find something. It's a cat and mouse game. Somebody's looking for a vulnerability, and the other side is trying to make it secure. So you have to update it to be always with the latest fixes and everything. And WordPress makes it easy actually in this way. You can even have it auto update. Okay, that's one thing. Then you can also auto update plugins in
Mhm,
most cases. That's already brings you on the safer side regarding vulnerabilities in that field. But there are other things that you have to take care of. One thing is the PHP version. So
mm,
WordPress is using PHP as a programming language, and PHP itself is just another software, and it also has vulnerabilities. So if you're
mm,
running an outdated PHP version, then yeah, you're again vulnerable for attacks.
mm,
And one more thing is even when you're trying to stay safe, there are attacks out there that can utilize just a not tight configuration. What do I mean by that? WordPress is a blogging, at the core, it's a blogging software that allows comments, for example. So
Mhm.
you have your post, and I, as a visitor, can leave a comment. And everybody who ever started setting up a WordPress site has seen that you end up with lots of spam comments. So
I did. I did.
so that's it's happening so quickly,
Yeah.
and already with that, you can create spam emails and everything. And WordPress has a lot of features built in, and you can disable those features and make it more secure. So make it
Yeah.
not stand out as the very popular tool that everybody has, and by just making slight changes. One thing is there is an XML
Mhm.
uh, API. It's called XML RPC, and that is used to trigger certain parts of WordPress
Mhm.
remotely and buy some features. And if you don't need them, you can disable that.
Yeah.
That's and if you have trouble finding that, you can install a plugin to to do that for you.
Mhm. Yeah. Cool. So the things that we got from here is we need to update our WordPress website and also the plugins and also the PHP, I think PHP version on the server. That's another important thing. So I think a lot of I don't know the exact number, but I think there are some people that build their websites in WordPress and they're just totally um, disconnected. They they're not going onto their dashboard, WordPress dashboard, and not even looking at the plugin space if there are any updates or not. So it's just their website is just there sitting, and they're just not caring about it. So I think for those people, I think it's important for them to go there to their website dashboard time to time and all the time keep the website updated, not the core WordPress, also all the plugins that they are using. And if there are any plugins that they installed in the past but they are not necessarily using at the moment, I think I think you would agree with me. So I would say just, uninstall those plugins, the plugins that you are not using at the moment. That's what I do. So the thing is, update is a big thing. Also, I mentioned that updating all the plugins regularly is also important. So am I right with the plugins?
Absolutely, absolutely. As I hinted before, um, plugins are part of software written by people. And if I'm
Mhm.
trying to make a good job, I can maybe make it 99.9% good, and that sounds great.
Yeah.
But if you have a lot of plugins, then the overall security and quality goes down. This is just basic mathematics. And that also has to do with, I mean, like developers are people and they have all sorts of things to do. And they might not be able to update to the latest version of whatever, and fix this or that.
Mhm.
And so it has a lot to do also with who is the author of the plugin. Is it a development studio that has a few developers and they have a business model behind that that keeps it up to date? Or is it just a hobbyist and he created the plugin and he might be on
Mhm.
holiday, whatever, or he might have some other
Yeah,
job to do
yeah,
that is more important. And that's all the case. So that's why it's it's advisable to look into who is the author of that plugin.
yeah.
And as you said, like, yeah, think like, do I really need that plugin, and be frugal in that way. And if you want, I mentioned like there is a way to check a web page, like how vulnerable it is.
Hmm.
You have a web page we could check.
Um, I have mine. So my own. So what's the is it a link kind of something? Is it a online tool type of something?
I can share it here if you want.
Yeah, please.
So, uh, so this is a well-known page. It's a WP Scan, WordPress Scan. I'm not
Mm.
affiliated with them,
Oh. Mm-hmm.
and but it's easy, and for your own web pages, you can just use that. It doesn't cost you anything. The basic scan. So
Mm-hmm.
what is uh, a page I could check? You have something for me?
Um, in my brain, it just my side it's just coming up, but I'm just not sure I'm going to check it at the moment. But I could do if you want. I'm okay to share the link.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Type it in the chat, and I.
okay, let's go. Take some time, I guess.
It takes a bit.
Which browser are you using, by the way?
Uh, I like to use Firefox.
Hmm.
Why do I like Firefox? I like Firefox because it is um, they still convince me that they have no interest in selling my data.
That's
That
a
is
big
the
thing.
reason why I don't like using Chrome or
Mm. There
Microsoft
is another on Edge. Yeah,
browser.
Microsoft Edge. My big on. I'm kind of I fell in love with it. Anyway, but I think I don't know, but maybe they're doing this stuff, but I'm just not thinking about that. I'm just I'm just happy with the look and the
Uh-huh.
design of it.
What browser are you using?
Microsoft Edge.
Edge. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
don't know, Martin, if it is
It's not
just,
coming up.
taking this much time for my website only. I don't know.
I tested it before with something else, and it was quicker.
Hmm. No problem. We could if we want we could just leave it
Yeah,
here.
we
Let it
can live
let it
here.
let it do its work. Let's get into the yeah, and we could share that URL for the audience. I think they already know it, so it's a simple URL there. So yeah. So did you finish what you were saying
I wanted
lately?
to I wanted to share something because I mentioned ways to make it secure, but I said like, yeah, you can use some plugins, you know. I mean, like there are some plugins like disable XML RPC, but beyond that, I don't want to make any specific recommendations regarding use this plugin or that plugin. I I would rather say try to look it up yourself and make a little research how
Yeah.
to prevent like brute force attacks. What is
Mm-hmm.
a brute force attack? When somebody's trying to guess your login name. It's also
Yeah.
something that is happening a lot. And there are tools and there are free plugins, you know, you just need to install them that help you with that. And I would say, I mean, like we live in the time of AI, so just go to ChatGPT, for example, and you're
ChatGPT. Yeah.
like, so what plugins can I use to make my WordPress more secure? And it would recommend like tools to make to prevent brute force attacks. It would help you to rename the login page, for example. It will
Mm-hmm.
help you to
So
to look into other malicious attacks. Maybe also recommend disabling XML RPC. And there's one more thing I also recommend very much to have something that creates backups. For
yeah.
if you have regular backups of your web page, and we're talking here WordPress. So if you have a WordPress site, you have the different directories. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, it's only a small part of the WordPress site that is your individual content, right? So it's it doesn't take too much to restore if you want to
Yeah.
fix a compromised web page. You have to take care of the WP content directory, and if you have a regular backup of that and a backup of the database, well, then you're it's very easy to restore the page.
So pretty much lovely. So we have learned a lot of things. We have acquired a lot of knowledge out of you, Martin, from this session. So I think this is our first uh, session with you on this topic. I think we may have uh, some other following ons on this, and we'll think about it. I think it's not totally covered yet, or we'll see. We'll think about it, and if we think that we have, missed something on this, then we will come back again with another session for sure.
Mhm.
And I think it's enough for the audience for the first time to consume from their perspective. So, but before we go, uh, I would love to hear from you if we missed something from you and you wanna add as the final ones.
Um, did we miss something?
Yeah.
Oh, I
If we didn't, totally fine. We are good. Perfect.
well, I'm happy to see more people taking care of security. For
Yeah, for sure.
it helps everybody actually. And if there is somebody out there who needs help with a compromised site, as
Mhm.
I have every now and then, somebody
Yeah,
coming ask me,
yeah, 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 for sure.
I can help with that.
Yeah. So
And
that was basically my next thing to ask for sure. So if the think about it, their websites, if they care about it and they think it's very important for them at the moment, especially for them. And what would be uh, the best way, kind of, talking to you, kind of thing, reaching out. So yeah, that is going to be the last thing, I think, of this session.
I have a web page with my main services that go around
Mhm.
IT and business consulting, and we
Yeah.
will. I would say we will just put it in the description.
Yeah. It has been a nice talking session with you. I think people will get some information, and at least they will think about this, particular topic, the security thing, uh, um, around their websites.